seems like every time we review a new Ram pickup truck, we're talking about innovations, and this truck is no different. This is the 2014 Ram 2500. Of course, that's nothing new, but the availability of a 6.4-liter HEMI V8, which is the most powerful gas engine in the entire heavy-duty segment, now that is something new. This new engine makes an interesting cost proposition. Ram is asking you, how much power are you willing to give up to save some cash? They're also giving you more choices than ever, but I'm here to tell you that more choices aren't always a good thing. So let's talk about the value proposition with these engines. On these heavy-duty trucks, you get the 5.7-liter HEMI V8 as the base motor. Now to get this 6.4, you gotta drop about $1,500. But the big dog diesel, you have to drop $8,100 if you wanna get all of that torque. As we have it kitted out here today with the 6.4 liter in this Laramie Longhorn trim, this truck sells for just about $62,000. So what are you really giving up to get this gas engine? Well, the Cummins diesel lays down 800 pound-feet of torque in its base trim with an automatic transmission, compared to this engine, which only puts out 429 pound-feet of torque, which means that you're actually foregoing 371 pound-feet, which is quite a big difference. Boiling it down even further, if you want that diesel over this 6.4, you're paying $18 per pound-foot of torque. But as a lot of truckers know, numbers never tell the whole story. So let me tell you how those stats actually feel. So first, the obvious differences between gas and diesel. Well, the diesel engine with those gobs of torque, it launches you off the line when the truck is empty. I mean, you really feel that power. With this gas engine mated to the 373 rear end like we have it here, it feels okay. It's not a ton of power, but you never really find yourself wanting for more when it's empty. Once you get some weight on here, the story changes a bit, but we'll get to that later. Of course, another big part of this argument is personal preference. Some people prefer the way a gas engine sounds, and there's no doubt that the diesel has quite a bit of back pressure on it. It doesn't feel like it wants to rev as freely. This gas engine loves to rev up high, and frankly, some people will just prefer that feeling. Now, getting back to that numbers equation, another big part of that is fuel economy. In this gas truck, we've been averaging just 13 or 14 miles per gallon, and that's one area where the diesel is leaps and bounds ahead of this engine. I've said it before and I'll say it again, no one can touch Ram right now when it comes to their interiors. Especially in this Laramie Longhorn trim, it's just filled with really nice materials. The leather has a nice texture to it, and beyond that, it even smells really nice. You get these great floor mats that have faked barbed wire on them, which, you know, is a little bit kitschy, but I think it comes off pretty cool. You also get real wood accents, and you get a lot of just little artistic touches like those around the gauges that make this truck a cut above its competition. Now add on to that industry-leading infotainment and technology in here, and the interior of this Ram is just very compelling. It's not all just nice up here though. Ram has also put a lot of time back there in the back seat. And this mega cab model has a monstrous 43.3 inches of legroom. It's just huge back there. Not only do they recline, but Ram spent time making sure that you can fold those seats flat. So you get a nice flat loading floor, which is easy to lift things onto. Add on to that, there's 2 or 3 plastic cleats in the rear wall, so you can even tie something down if it's in your back seat. This interior may look nice, but it is built to work. Most importantly now, let's talk about how it is with a trailer. So for 2014, Ram has upgraded dynamically these trucks. The HD's got a new 5-link rear coil suspension system and the availability of airbags back there in the rear, and this truck has them. Those new technologies come together to make this truck feel good while it's towing. The airbags have an auto leveling feature which will act like an equalizing hitch, so even if you do have a lot of weight and you're approaching the 12,100 pound threshold on this truck, it's actually going to balance the weight out between the rear wheels and the front wheels, allowing it to feel very confident on the road. But there is a problem, and that is this engine. It just doesn't command the weight like the diesel does. Now, I mean, that's what you'd expect, but I came up some hills with around a 6,000 pound trailer and it was breathing a lot harder than I would have liked. And that is only half of what this truck is rated at. Same thing, merging on the highway, of course it gets up to speed, but it just doesn't get up to speed as fast as you'd like. If you have to make an emergency maneuver, if you have to jump out in front of somebody, it's just not gonna happen. And that just doesn't feel very good. It doesn't give you that confident feeling you want when you have a big load behind your truck. So yeah, for that very, very specific buyer, this 6.4 liter Hemi, it might save you a little bit of money. But let's be honest, who's buying a 2500 heavy duty to not tow a trailer with it? Who's putting that gorgeous interior in there and then not spending a lot of time in it? If you're in the market for a Ram heavy duty pickup truck, do yourself a favor and get the diesel.